I feel like a lot of people just don't know about Black life in general.
Yeah.
Like, they just like see a one-dimensional figure that can make them laugh and do whatever. Like, they copy our mannerisms, but like, there's so much nuance to Blackness, and like it goes so, like, we're human. Like, we have so many different sides of us that are just like, people don't want to see that, and I'm making it my job for them to like pay attention to that, pay attention to our mental health, pay attention to our daily lives, that like, we're people and like, we're not disposable.
We're good. Now we're rolling. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Can we close the door?
Oh yeah. Sorry, my roommates are constantly making music.
No, I appreciate it. Sound like some free jazz type stuff or something.
Yeah, my roommate Nick makes ambient music.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nick was a long-haired fellow?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. He looks like an ambient type of guy.
Yeah, he's cool. Cool roommates.
Yeah. You said you've been staying with them for 3 years? Or have you guys all been a unit for 3 years?
No, just about a year now. A year and a few months. They moved in last year.
Who was you, just you by yourself here?
Ringo lived here, and first it was me, Ringo, and my friend Marin, but then she lived on the west side, so she left, and then Sophie moved in with us.
Okay.
And Ringo's brother Daryl. And then Sophie had to go back home. And she went back to Vienna. So then it was just me, Ringo, and Daryl. And then...
This is going to be a stupid question.
What?
Where is Vienna?
Vienna is in Austria, which is in Europe. Like,
yeah, I know where Austria. So she's from Austria?
Yeah, so she's half Austrian, half Iranian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then after that, Ringo moved out. And then Ollie and Lundy and Nick moved in.
So now you guys are four in the house.
Well, 3 in the house. Lundy has the back house.
There's a back house here?
There's a whole ass backyard.
This is, it like never ends over here. Never
ending units.
So you're hiking tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Going to Bridge to Nowhere.
How you feeling? Are you ready for that?
Man, I haven't hiked in a while, and I'm just like going straight to like expert mode. But I think, I mean, that's how I do shit. I just
you just jump right into it.
Just got to, otherwise I won't do it.
Well, what's making you go on this hike? Is it just people were like, let's do it, or?
No, it's mostly me telling everyone to do it with me.
Are you the type to like? Are you the like the ringleader for most things?
No, I try not to be.
Really?
Because I don't like telling people what to do. But I just thought that my friends and I, most people actually, needed like a nice like detachment from everything and just like there's no cell service, so 10 miles, 7 hours, like you can't really use your phone.
You're gonna be buddy with somebody by the end of the day.
Exactly. So it'll be nice, and like I need to just like walk more, and maybe this will kickstart something in me.
Are you guys feeling like real high strung right now or something?
I just feel crazy, kind of from editing.
Are you working on a project right now? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, mostly a commercial project, and then like also like personal projects and collaborative projects.
Yeah.
And Akashic Records projects, so it's a lot. So I had to like just give myself a day.
Editing is like, it really weighs down, because you're kind of like, that's where you kind of like, well, what experience do you get from editing? Like, is it cumbersome for you?
Well, it's really almost meditative, because I kind of just like get into like a heavy zone where time kind of disappears, and you just like are going in on like this thing that is in front of you. And so like, but it occupies the same space as like other creative things, so like I feel like I can't do everything at once. Like if I'm editing,
you can't do it.
I just gotta be editing. And like that's why I don't mind going into those zones, because I can get a lot of work done that way. When I have a lot of editing to do, like I just finished like 6 videos for an architecture school, and then I have some other video projects to finish. I did a video for my friend Kelsey Lou. And I shot it on film.
What kind of film?
16 millimeter. I have to go pick it up and start editing that soon.
Is it color film or black and white?
Color.
Man, that's you know, I really like your films.
Oh, thank you.
They're very beautiful. They're very black, for sure.
I feel like I can't make anything that I like that's like not black.
But there's an interesting like perspective that you have on it though. Cause here's the thing, there's like a lot of very black stuff out right now, which it's kind of good, mostly good, I think. But I really, like, from what I observed from from your films, the take I get is very intimate to the subject. You know what I'm saying? So like, your protagonists in your films are like, they're almost giving you a version of themselves that usually is very intimate to themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
So it's almost like because I don't think America just in general is very versed on black culture at all. But then you take another deep dive into the person themselves. And so you get attachment to them.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people just don't know about black life in general. Like they just like see a one-dimensional figure that can make them laugh and do whatever. Like they copy our mannerisms, but like there's so much nuance to blackness, and like it goes so, like, we're human. Like we have so many different sides of us that are just like, people don't want to see that, and I'm making it my job for them to like pay attention to that, pay attention to our mental health, pay attention to our daily lives, that like we're people and like we're not disposable. Like there's like stories behind us, and like we have so much to say, and wider audience just hasn't really heard it. And that's why I love Random Acts of Finest so much.
Man,
Terrence Nance. Fuck, that shit was just like, hit him in the face with like everything that goes on in our minds, our psyches, like everything that we want to say.
It was even so much to the point where I was like, it was hard for me to, because I'm behind. I only seen the first episode and half the second.
The second one's crazy.
But the first one was like the first half was so hard to watch for me. Like it was very, like the I don't, is this a spoiler alert? Like, you think people should have seen it by now?
People should have seen it by now.
You should definitely have seen this by now. But like the black the death person, I forgot what you call him.
The Grim Reaper?
Yes.
The Francis Bonomo short?
Yeah. What is that?
That's the director. She directed Everybody Dies.
Okay.
And that was kind of like a dark comedy.
That was so dark. Oh.
It was extremely dark, but it was so perfect.
It was, because as a black male, if I'm watching that and I'm having a hard time getting through it, I'm hoping, man, I don't even know, like, how you think white people are receiving that? You know what I'm saying? Like
honestly,
how you think?
I think they're fucking shook right now. Like especially with the tech episode, or the short that Terrence did in the third episode, where he introduces an app that connects descendants of slaves with white people who owe them reparations. Like, it's like some ancestry.com shit, but they call it bitch better have my money. And like all the white people in the audience are shook. He like starts to get deeper in the app and explain, like, you just like click this and it goes through all these records of sales and like just emotional warfare that has been waged against black people for over 400 years, and it calculates an amount that you owe them, and you can pay them anonymously, or you can meet up in person and sign over assets. And like at the end of the skit, there's all these white people trying to get out of the auditorium, but the doors are locked. And honestly, like, reparations is such like it's a touchy subject in America. Because like, honestly, we are owed mad money, where's our 40 acres and a mule? Obviously that shit's not for us, it's not made for us, and that's why we never were given it. But like, it's still a conversation, and like, it's one that, like, of course I feel like white people would just shy away from, because like, why? I feel like their argument is like, why would I owe you money? It was my ancestors that did this. I didn't do this to you directly, but you are still benefiting from this.
Absolutely.
And it's time to pay it. I need my money. Hit my Venmo. Alima Jennings.
Hit that. And I think, you know, especially for that conversation, because like, that skit is tangible. You know what I mean? So like, white people are like, fuck. So like, this can actually happen if not even if they wanted to, but if an uprising occurred, you know.
Oh yeah, it would be lit.
Yeah, their you know, their wealth is kind of diminished at that point, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely like an old money thing versus new money, but like the new money is still owed to us. And I feel like there's so much power in numbers. Like, black people collectively can sway the way that finances are conducted in this country, just by choosing where we decide to put our dollars, and shut down whole corporations. But I feel like people just think that we're not organized and that we can't do this, but like lately it's being proven that we can. Like, even shit that we fuck with, for example, Shea Moisture, I was all about it. I don't buy that shit no more.
Why not?
Because I just can't. Because they're on some racist shit, and like, it's not even black owned. And it's, so you're led to believe that it is. Vultures in it. Oh yeah, but like, products are still bomb, but there's other products that you can buy. But like, that's just an example where like a bunch of people chose to not fuck with a company at one point. And like, even if it didn't last that long, it still made an impact.
I think that's even how the civil rights movement even started, by, because I think the main thing is, it's like an economic, once you hit the pockets of these people, that's when I think change starts to get in motion. Yeah,
because people only care about money.
Right.
So like, if you're not touching their money, they don't give a fuck.
They don't care.
That's where power is in this country, unfortunately. And
even more so now, because I think, you know, it's an information age for sure. We have all this information to us, but it's to our detriment, because like, even with music, like, you hear an album for a week and then you're on to the next. So it's like the same thing with like information. Even if you're an advocate for something, you know, people by next month are like, all right, you know, like, people aren't protesting as much anymore as they were like, you know, like last year. You know what I'm saying?
I
like,
just feel like protests are more like conserved now. Like it's just like on the internet, and that's where people see what's going on. So that's a lot of time where movement happens.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of it should happen like in the streets, like it's happening on the internet, and like at least there's awareness, which I can't like front on. But at the same time, like you were mentioning, this kind of like hyper awareness, and then on to the next thing, we kind of forget about the struggle from last week by tomorrow. And like, how do we keep this going? It's just like you have to be constantly reminded. Like I see tweets every once in a while, every few weeks, about how Flint still doesn't have clean water. And like that is yeah, it's true.
Jesus.
Flint still doesn't have clean water. And even years later, after everything happened there, there was not really much aid, and like we kind of forgot about it as a country. Like headlines, it kind of like left the headlines. It wasn't being reported on. So now it's like Twitter is like a leading force in like learning about what's good in America, because like they don't want to tell you these things, that like your government isn't here to protect you and serve you. It's like you have to like keep the awareness up yourself, but like it's a lot of labor to do that at the same time. Like it's really emotionally draining to like look at the internet every day.
It is.
And so like you kind of have to like pick and choose your battles. There's so many battles.
Everybody has a battle, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm not saying that I'm like desensitized to it. You know, there's still empathy for everyone that's represented, but I don't think, I've said this before, I don't think there's enough compassion to go around though. So like, I think there's certain people that really, there's certain people that should lead the charge, and there's certain people that should support it.
Yeah.
And I think everybody feels like they're a leader in a sense.
They just want their 2 cents in, and then that's really it. They want their viral tweet.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's what it comes down to. It comes down to like all arrows point to me, and it's almost like it's like a thing where it's like this shows me how good of a person I am when I shoot this tweet out, but there's no, you know, action after.
Yeah, it's like glorified like tourism when you're like volunteering in a third world country when you're probably not even doing anything.
Right.
And you post your picture on Facebook and surrounded by all these poor black children. And you feel better about yourself. But what really are you doing for these poor black children? Like that's why I remember I almost joined like some volunteer crew that goes to a third world country to like build a school. But like I just heard recently that like these kind of like trips where you spend so much money to go to these places and like and lend a helping hand, it doesn't actually do anything. It's really just for you to feel better about yourself, because they end up taking down the infrastructure that you build as like a community, and they have to rebuild it because high school kids can't fucking build a school. As much as you would like to believe that they are doing this, they're not. And it just makes it harder for everyone else there. Like, give them your money. Like, you don't need to show face.
Right, you don't have to be there, you know, all up in the videos. All up in, you know.
Sorry, Diddy.
You know, we I think at the end of the day, I think the dollar goes further than a post does, you know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting times, because I was just thinking about this today. At the same time, I think our generation has the capability for the change that we want to see.
Yeah, because we have the means to mobilize together. Like, we can instantly get in contact with most people that we know. And like, that would have been so vital when like shit was popping during the civil rights era.
Oh, for sure.
And like it would have been a little easier for folks to mobilize, but they were still doing that work. That's why now it should be like exponentially further.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. I think like human nature is really showing.
Yeah.
At this point.
Honestly, I think we just need to start over. Cause
yeah,
we in too deep.
Do we need to wipe out the whole planet?
Yeah, I think the whole planet needs to burn.
Needs to go.
Needs to go. I'm sorry. I think that it's already starting to happen. I think that natural disasters are happening at a crazy rate, and like it's telling us something. We're not being good to our earth.
Yeah.
We're like, and she's just like, I need to like regenerate.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to wipe y'all out. And like this happens. Like this has happened before in the history of the earth.
Right.
And like it just completely wipes out and starts again. But we're getting to the point where, I don't know, maybe Atlantis went through this. Maybe the fallen civilization had like similar problems, and they just ended up going under the sea because they needed to start over.
Or they became aliens.
Or that too.
Yeah. How you feel about aliens?
Aliens?
Yeah.
I think that they might be chill.
They think they're a good time.
I mean, I never.
You think they're letting us live? Like they're letting us cook up?
They're looking at us like, all right, y'all got that for now. I don't know. I feel like they're definitely here among us and like probably keeping tabs. So like we don't start some crazy shit. Stuff. But I don't know. I definitely feel there's like way more intelligent creatures than we are. Like we're just like figuring it out.
Yeah.
Barely. Like we can't even handle simple human empathy for each other. Like we can't even feel for each other. So like we're not intelligent at all. I feel like emotional intelligence is so much superior than like, I don't know, book smart, like, because like if you can't be empathetic and if you can't feel for someone, but like you can recite all of Shakespeare's sonnets, like that doesn't mean anything. Like what do you,
it goes away once we get wiped away.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all vanity. I think it's all like navel gazing a little bit. When it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I think, and the things that do matter, I don't even think we pay attention to. So like a couple weeks ago, like I was bugging out over this, but they found like a lake on Mars.
Oh yeah.
And like nobody, like that just goes right on. That's like a huge thing to me, because it's like there's some kind of, there could be proof that there is life there. You know what I mean? Like there is something else going on. Like it's not just us.
Oh yeah. I mean, like even just outside of our solar system.
For sure.
Like there's shit popping.
Yeah.
In different area codes. Galaxy codes.
Galaxy codes in the Milky Way. So, how do you go day to day knowing that
nothing matters?
Yeah, and that we should all be wiped out. Like, what?
It's definitely a burden that I carry every day, but it makes me like not give a fuck about shit.
Yeah.
Well, like I care about myself, my friends, my family, and the world, but like I also like know that like none of this really matters, and like I'm just here to clear whatever karmic debt from last lifetime before I can like graduate. So like I'm just here trying to be a good person, trying to mind my business, trying to make art. Like I'm not trying to waste my time and just like work for, I don't know, the man, I guess you could say. Like I'm trying to be my own man, work for me, and I don't know, put other people on around me, give people a platform to do what they want to do with their life too. And I don't know, I just like, I think knowing that like nothing really matters kind of helps me like just do whatever I want to do that makes me happy, instead of worrying about things that are beyond me, like capitalism. I mean, I worry about getting money, but like
to breathe
at the same time, I feel like I can manifest it pretty easy. Like, I'll be dead ass broke and be like, damn, I could really use like
something in my hand,
$5,000, and then I could pay off my tax debt,
yeah.
and then I'll get a job for $5,000, and then I'm like, damn, I should ask for 10, no, but I can't be greedy.
Yeah.
But like, it's really, I don't know. I'm just not too worried about things because like, I feel like if you're doing what you want to do and you're on your path, like things will open up to you in the universe.
For sure.
And like, you shouldn't worry too much because you'll be okay. Like, especially if you have some sort of support system or friends, or just like really anything. And there's so many different like avenues of like revenue that you can have coming into your life. And it's just all about like thinking about it. Like, I'll spend a day out of the week just kind of like plotting and like, what can I do? And just like do whatever I can. Like, oh, I'm gonna get a DJ set, then I'll pay my rent. And I'm just like, I don't have too many expectations. Like, I'm not trying to make $1 million. It would be cool to have $1 million, but like, I'm not like, it's not like I wake up every day like, yo, I'm trying to make $1 million. But like, I wake up every day and I like try to work.
What would you do with $1 million though?
Buy property.
Okay. Invest a little bit.
Invest in my homies. Make a bomb ass film. Because then I could be the executive producer and not have anyone tell me what the fuck to make a film about.
That's what. I mean, you don't have to tell us the secrets, but what do you have a film in mind? What's your perfect film topic?
Black aliens.
Oh, you kind of touched on that.
Yeah, I'd be touching on it because like I'm really into sci-fi.
Yeah.
I really like old '60s sci-fi kind of films, and
why is that?
I like the aesthetic of them. I think they look beautiful, but like sci-fi films didn't have black people, so now I make sci-fi with black people, and it makes the most sense, to be honest.
You want to give us some context on that?
Just black people in space.
Yeah.
I think it works. I think we came from space. We started this planet.
Absolutely.
And we out here now, and like we still go to space.
Yeah.
Like, I'm working on a show, and I'm building these tile portals. I made one for a Mind Design music video.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking
Perspective.
About. Is that the one with the squiggly glasses?
Yeah.
So you make the aesthetics in the film?
I do set design.
That's crazy.
I like to build things.
Yeah.
So I'm building a series of like these interdimensional tile portals where it's like pretty much doorways that I build that look cool, that are like lined with tile, and like the theory behind it is an interdimensional portal that can lead to a planet that Sunrock kind of theorized. A planet that is for black people, where we can be free and we can be where we want to be and like make music and art and all of the beautiful things that we love to do. And like, I was just thinking, like, what if there was these portals that can get us to this planet and like release us from suffering? And like, what happens if one popped up on Crenshaw Boulevard? And like, where could you take it? Would you just walk through it? And so I'm making a show of these portals and like kind of like the conversation of like kind of escapism through the mind and hopefully through the body eventually.
Yeah. And take you to a whole do these portals have bouncers? Like,
well, it's a smart portal. So like, if you're not meant to walk through the portal, you just walk out and come out the other side.
Oh. So it's like, oh, you thought. Like,
I'm imagining like a nigga running from the police.
Yeah.
And he sees, oh shit, there's the portal. It's in the middle of the field. I just gotta run. The nigga runs through the portal, and the policeman runs through it, and he's like, where did the nigga go? I was trying to kill him. But he's saved.
He's on the next galaxy.
he's already gone in the next galaxy on his planet, and he's already like 10 albums deep.
10 albums. You know, it's fun. You ever just feel like very thankful that you can just say nigga without like having any repercussions?
I'm team nigga for real.
What are your nigga laws? Like, do you have what are your nigga laws on like other
nigga
people?
laws is niggas can say nigga,
and that's it. It ends there.
And it ends there.
You know what I was saying? I was at CVS, right? So I was at CVS and I was in line buying those 3 items that I didn't need, and like there was this white dude behind me and this Latino dude. He might have been, I mean, he had pretty curly hair. He's definitely Latino descent.
Afro-Latinx?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think his hair was that curly to me. Like, it was a very loose curl. But he was telling the story about like a dream that he had, and nigga slipped out. And so if you're in my shoes, what would you do at that point?
Honestly, I don't be really like regulating folks in the street like that. Even though I should use my voice more often, I'm just like a relatively quiet person. I see people say it online. I don't say shit to them. If it's a person that I know and I feel like they shouldn't be saying, I'll like be real with them.
Like, yo.
Because I just want to look out for them. Because I might not be the nigga that slaps them for saying nigga, but another nigga might. And I'm not going to be there to tell them.
Their best interest at the end of the day.
One of my friends, I love her so much. My friend Mandy, at Ideal Black Female, she calls niggas out. Immediately. There is this white dude at Rhonda, club called Rhonda, and he was wearing a do-rag underfitted.
Here it goes.
And with like a sparkly bomber jacket. And so I see him walk by and I'm just taken aback. Like, what are you doing right now? Like, we're in like a gay club, but like we're in Echo Park.
Come on, man.
Silver Lake-ish.
Get it together.
It's not really a black environment even. So maybe that's why he felt pushing it.
He felt the gusto there.
Yeah, I pointed out to my friends, and Mandy, without hesitation, walks over to him. I see her at the bar, whoop-de-whoop, talking to this fool. I see her take off his hat.
No.
Remove the do-rag and put it on the bar and walk away. And I'm like, oh my God, you're so amazing. What did you say to him? I told him that he can't wear that shit. He said he's from Ukraine. I said, well, in America, we don't play that. And he said that he had a black boyfriend. I'm like, okay, where he at? Still don't give you the right to wear a fucking do-rag. You don't even got shit under the do-rag. What are you wearing it for? That's some protective shit. So, yeah. It's just like, it's nice to use your voice. And like, I really appreciate when people do. I think I have this weird social anxiety that like kind of like prohibits me, unless it's something really fucked up, and like absolutely. I will say something.
I'm the same way. Like, I didn't say anything. Conclusion of the story, but I know I think my nigga laws are, if you're talking to me and that slips out, you're definitely gonna feel an energy change.
Oh yeah.
For me to like call you out on it, you gotta keep going at it after that fact. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
Like, you're just polluting the energy at that point. Like, what are you doing? Like,
what are you doing?
There's also a side. I'm like 27 years old now, right? And I think as you get older, like, you just the reasons for getting in the fight just like start to dwindle, like like a physical altercation. So I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, what would actually get me like active like that? And I think if someone like aggressively called me a nigga,
Oh, yeah, someone's getting slapped.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, mama. I was taught not to use my hands.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
you're getting slapped.
Yeah, it's uncalled for, you know?
And I feel like a lot of times, that's the thing. It's said to us to provoke us into violence.
Yeah.
And although I do not subscribe to violence, and I haven't had to.
Me too, yeah.
I would, because I need to protect myself.
Yeah.
And I need to make it known that you can't just fuck with people like that.
No.
And, like, your words, like, yeah, like, you trying to, like, stab me, like, with a dagger, like, when you got that hard R.
Yeah, that shit hurts.
That shit hurts.
It really,
but,
like, even when I read it, it's like, oh.
It's like, damn, but, like, that is also something that is being reclaimed. Okay. And, like, I feel like black people using it on each other are, like, nigger navy. That shit was, like, that was iconic. Yeah. That was a moment for Black Twitter. Yeah. And it's just, like, all these people like, what the fuck? Yeah. I thought you're not supposed to say that. Yeah. But it's like, we're taking the power back from you. We're reclaiming this shit, and you can't say it, but we can. Yeah. And you're just gonna make you mad. Yeah. That you can't say it, especially that.
Because you're gonna get your ass beat.
You're gonna get your ass beat. But no one's gonna beat my ass for saying nigger navy. Yeah. Those memes are incredible.
Yeah. When you become like this? Like, when, because, you know, you're very pro-black, obviously, you know, like, everything you do is it safe to say it's for, like, the advancement
of black folks? Of course.
Yes. So has it always been like that for you? Or was there, like, a switch?
I feel like the work that I do, like, innately was that.
Yeah,
because
I got you.
I don't know, I never really made it, like, I never looked at myself and was like, you're gonna make black art. Because I'm a black person and I make art, so it comes out as black art. So, like, I never really had a moment where I was like, I want to make work that advances black people, because, like, I feel like innately that's what I want to do. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what is gonna come from my soul. Yeah. It definitely has become a focus, I feel like, because like, I look back at, like, a lot of the films that I've made in the past few years, and it's just like all black people, and like especially like my video work, music videos, like Making Brown was really fun, and all the videos for Joyce. That was great. Yeah, and it's just like snapshots into what it's like, what I can speak on, because it's my experience. It's really, like, as a storyteller, I feel like it's really important to, like, tell stories about what you know. Yeah. And, like, you can, like, write about, like, things outside of yourself, but personally, it's easy to write about, like, life that I understand. Like, growing up in Queens and Harlem. Yeah. And then moving to the Valley, I know about, like, a very pro-black, like, black everything life, and then I know about a very, like, suppressed black life. Right. And so, like, these are, like, really nuanced parts of myself, but, like, I can call on both of them. Yeah. For storytelling, I don't know anyone else's life but my own. Right. And maybe my partner, but, like, or people around me, but, like, I feel like I can only, like, speak on what I know, and, like, that's just what has come out. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's very intricate, because it's like, you know, some of the films that you make, they're very, like I said before, like, your protagonists are, they're very intimate moments of them. But then I was like, sometimes, you know, when I was watching some of your films, I was like, there's a way that you're connected to this somehow.
Yeah. It's pretty much like my stories that, like, are shared stories of, like, struggling, stories of depression, anxiety, but also, like, abundance and happiness, and like, these are all things that I go through, like the film that I did with Autumn called Garden. Autumn Randolph, I remember where she was just like, it was, like, really hard for her to, like, start her day, like, getting through daily rituals, like, can be really hard sometimes, especially when you're seeing, like, death and, like, struggle all around you every day, and, like, you're spiraling yourself in your own life, and it's hard to focus. And then, like, just, like, getting through everything to, like, have this cathartic moment with yourself when you're making your work, when you're dancing, when you're doing anything that brings you joy, when you're acting on your passions, like that is a moment where like you can really like let it out. But getting to that moment can sometimes be like really fucking difficult. And like I was like in like a week-long depression at that point. I didn't get out of bed. I was barely eating, and I got up and I was like, I'm gonna make a film about what I'm feeling, and maybe it'll make me feel better.
It's your calling. It's your do you feel like you're obligated to do that at all?
I do feel like it's my duty.
Yeah, it's your duty, right? So yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure about that until like you just said that, and I had a hunch that like, oh, we're not just seeing this person, we're seeing the person who put this together too. This is almost like
I woke up and I called
symbiotic
her. And I just like told her about how I was feeling, and she was like, fuck bitch, I've been feeling the same way. And so I was like, let's make a film. I went to her house, brought my Super 8 camera and filmed it, and then turned in the film, edited it by that weekend, and like it was just like such a quick thing, but like it pulled me out of whatever I was in.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask too, is like, especially in editing, I mean, from what I feel sometimes, maybe you feel the same way, is like you start seeing more of, you start attributing intent into like what you initially shot, I guess. Does that happen to you, where you're editing something and it something like that opens your eyes to even more?
I've definitely like dug deeper in the editing post-production phase, where like adding different elements could like change up the whole vibe.
It's like you said, it's very meditative at that point, where it's just like you're discovering more about yourself too at the same time.
Exactly. Like when I'm working on my own work, there's so many like things that like layers that are like unlocked. It's like playing a video game, but it's like your artistic life.
Then you
and
just
like
start leveling up.
You just like you break through all these doors and like you get to next levels, and it's really fun to like kind of like live it and not even realize it until like you're someplace further than you were a year ago or 3 years before. And like sometimes I have those moments where like, I don't know, I'm just living and trying to make work and like trying to get money to make work, and like a time will pass and like all of these opportunities have like happened, and like I've made more work, and like it makes me feel better, and like I can do more, and like it helps me like kind of further myself and like not really give up on myself either.
There's something going on, even if we don't even like realize it. There's definitely something going on in the air, you know? How was it, when did you live in Queens?
I was born in Manhattan, and I lived in Queens first. When I was born, we went from Lenox Hill Hospital to Jamaica, Queens in the blizzard.
Yikes. So you just like, what do you like more, the hot or the cold?
I like the cold.
Really?
I'm like so over summer. I want it to end.
Is that the reason? Could it be?
Because it's hot. Yeah.
No, I mean like the blizzard situation.
Oh yeah, I think because I'm Sagittarius. Is born. I don't even think it was winter yet. It was. I was born December 8th, but like hard ass blizzard while I was being born, and like maybe I don't really like the snow that much. I mean, like I like it, but it's just extra brick and cold. So
it's a little much.
It's cute. I do like it better than like a sweltering hot day, though. Really? I will say that. Yeah, I like bundling up and being like really warm. And
you ever get actually warm though, like when it's cold? I mean, I guess with definitely. The heater, right?
Well, yeah, and just like coats and stuff. I got my furs, my fake furs.
Your faux furs?
My faux furs. Those keep me pretty warm. And then, like, I also just thrive in the winter and fall. Those are my times.
You seem pretty fashion adept.
I mean, I try. I wouldn't say.
Look at you, modest, man. You killing it.
I just got friends that like make dope shit, and so like I'll wear their shit, but like I don't know too much. I like Sonia from Cum Teas. She's one of my favorites, and Pierre from No Cesso. She makes incredible pieces, and they actually had a collaboration that I have a lot of stuff from.
Yeah. Didn't you do a film for them too?
Yeah, I did a film for No Says So, just like using a lot of their clothes. That was about black aliens.
Yeah, I know. That's
using
what I was
the
thinking.
portal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's great. So you guys moved through the blizzard to Queens?
Yeah.
How was it living in Queens? How long were you there for?
I wasn't there for very long. Like, that's where my father's roots are, from Hollis, Queens. So I think that's why we lived there.
Isn't that Run DMC from there?
Yeah, so like my dad like grew up with a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah, he grew up with Russell, and he ended up working for Russell down the line. And like, yeah, all the like Hollis niggas, they pretty much knew each other, and so like kind of came up around that. And so yeah, our household was very hip-hop. My dad would manage artists, and I remember, I don't remember exactly, maybe it's because I've watched my baby videos, but like he had would have his artists stay with us sometimes.
Really?
And so it would be like a whole group sleeping in our living room, but they would like take care of me. And
like who you know any?
I forgot the name of them. I think they were called Dose of Soul. I don't know if they made it very far. Another one of my dad's artists was this young kid that was also from Queens. His moniker was Hood, but he lived in group home. He was really young, and my dad got him on the Scenario remix. And this is actually a pretty crazy story, because so he got on the remix, shit was about to pop off for him. He's gonna get him out of the group home. He called my house and was looking for my dad. My mom was like, he'll be back home, and call back in like 30 minutes. So then he hangs up, and someone shoots him right there, thinking he was another nigga that was in his house. I think he was like this guy was like sleeping with this girlfriend. And so the dude left, and the dude runs out and is shooting at him. Obviously it wasn't him, and he gets killed for no reason. And someone calls my house right back and says the person who just called you just got shot. So
now now you guys are kind of in that whole investigation.
So then there's my dad went to visit him. He had died. And it was just a really, but the Scenario remix was cut the week before, so at least he lives on in that, and there's tapes and records.
That's a huge record.
And
that's
it was
that's a defining moment in hip hop, right?
And it's crazy, and I had to fact check it. I was like, okay. And so I looked it up online, and there's actually a cutout from Source magazine that talks about the whole incident.
Wow.
And so it was just random things that would happen in our household. And my mom was a video director.
So it doesn't fall too far from the tree.
So she was also in hip hop and R&B in the 80s in New York City. She did some I'll Be Sure videos. LL, Houdini. She did Africa Bambaataa, Heavy D. Just a bunch of old those niggas from back then.
Everything my dad tells me.
Exactly. Exactly.
This is it right here.
So I feel coming from that coming from New York and such a rich history of New York, we kind of carried that with us when we moved to California.
Absolutely.
My dad left and went back to New York, and so it was just me, my mom, my sister here. But I would go back to New York every summer and winter. And so I grew up in kind of both places, so I got
you have a very interesting perspective on, because I always think New York niggas is different, man.
New York niggas are different, but we're pretty I can relate to all of them, and so many different I can relate to Valley niggas, I can relate to New York niggas, city niggas, just and my dad's family his mom's family's from down south, so like country niggas like love country niggas.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, I feel like being able to like being in so many different environments kind of made me step back and be more of an observant child, because like I was never really like able to really like
just
have friends really, even like I would leave for the summertime when everyone was hanging out and like go to New York and like have a crazy different experience, but also not be able to keep friends.
Because all your friends are the ones you made in the valley.
Then like I would come back to school and like
moved on.
Yeah.
Like, they got inside jokes that you're not even a part of.
Exactly. Like, so I kind of became like an outsider that like observes and like just like takes notes on all the shit, all the microaggressions I've experienced, all the things that I internalized.
Speak on it,
And just like, then I would go back to New York in the summer and then like be on the block on 114th and Lenox and like just be treated completely different. And like,
how so? Like
in a better way. I was just like, I was among people that looked like me and sounded like me and like I was able to be myself. And then I would go back home and like, although I did have good friends, like I felt like I didn't really open up until later into high school, because my high school experience was great and like it encouraged me to like dig deeper into myself, unlearn a lot of the internalized hatred and like kind of change my life from there. But like before that, I was like trying to like hang out with all the white kids in my class and like be friends with them and hang out with them and wonder why I was never like completely like accepted. But like, of course I know why now. But it's just like so many different like things that I had experienced in like my life up to 18, and like I had so much to speak on, I feel like, concerning that. And that's why I feel like I chose like storytelling as my job.
It's very interesting, because it's like, so you have all these different like radical perspectives, you know, like these aren't like some soft, like, you know, it sounded like you went, your high school predominantly like white or something?
Well, I went to, my high school program that I was in was really progressive, and it was like deep in the valley, but like I lived nowhere near that, but my mom really wanted me to go there. And like I'm glad she sent me, because it changed my life. Like I was learning about apartheid in 9th grade and like pretty much like Western expansion to the entire world. But before that, learning about ancient tribes and aboriginals and just like Mesopotamia and like everything before whiteness took over the entire world. And reading Guns, Germs, and Steel, learning about literal like warfare that went beyond guns. It was like spreading of diseases, like wiping out whole people.
It's so nasty.
And it was just crazy to learn about, and then like learn about like postmodernism and existentialism.
And you learned that in high school?
And just like reading Bell Hooks in 11th grade and remembering how much she changed my life. Reading Audre Lorde and like Sister Outsider. Just like looking at myself from a new lens now, because like I now have the language to back what I'm feeling. You have the words that are on paper to be like, oh, that's exactly it. Feeling. So what about those writings did you connect to specifically, I guess? Just like, I feel like learning that my narrative matters. And like learning that like I definitely have a lot to say and it's okay to let it out. And learning about like what this country has done to silence us as a people and keep us quiet and keep us in line so that we don't rock the boat. And just like learning all of that, and like kind of like I felt like up to that point I was holding on to so much and didn't really know how much rage I was holding on to. And like how angry I was all the time, and like how much I took it out on myself. And then like being able to like identify that within myself, I felt like I made a major breakthrough where I was able to like grow from that and like kind of like realign myself with like the path that I knew I should be on, because I learned about all the shit that fucked with us, but then I also learned about all the shit that we're building as a people to like better ourselves and like go forth into the future. Like,
it gave you hope in a sense.
Yeah, exactly. And like learning about like just like great black people that like, or and great gay people and great like there's like a whole universe of things that are outside of us that like a lot of us don't have access to the information to learn about, and like that's why a lot of us are stuck in ignorance. Right. But like I felt like I was like liberated at that point. That's why like a lot of my politics, one would say, is radical when it's really just informed. It's like informed madness. Like I know about the shit. I know about FBI files that like were like aimed at us, and like I know about classification of black identity extremists that it's just like vocal black people targeted by the FBI now, and how it relates back to the civil rights movement. It's like history is repeating itself constantly, and if we're not giving ourselves access to learn this history, we won't understand how we keep doing the same shit over and over.
It's a cycle.
It's a cycle because like people won't learn. People literally are changing history books so we can't learn. And it's about like we have to teach ourselves. Like that's why I feel like I want to make films, because it's almost like I can say what I need to say and like get it out in like a way where like people like aren't threatened, but like can like internalize what I'm trying to say.
There's a certain honesty that you bring to it where it's like because I mean my other question was like those things that you were learning in high school, did you always have a sense that you were being told the truth?
From the moment I stepped in there, I was like, I remember I said some dumb shit like in 9th grade. It was like we were going around talking about like, I think it was just like Islam or something, because like we had an introduction to Islam, and I said something about like my dad being in Saudi Arabia, because when he was there some like crazy explosion happened and like killed a bunch of people. I was like, it's like really scary there, and that was my own ignorance, and like I was instantly shut down from like the moment I stepped into my 9th grade class. I was shut down by the teachers, and like I felt so fucking stupid, and I was like,
shut down as in how? Like they were just like, no, that's they're like not talking about that, or?
No, they were just like, that's not what we're talking about, and they kind of reframed the conversation, and I was like, wow, that was like completely out of context. I didn't need to say that. Let me like rework myself and just like kind of like speak from like a better place, that like a more informed place, because like my father's Muslim, but I didn't know too much about Islam at that point. And like especially in like a post 9/11 country, like you're taught so much ignorance, and it's not even real shit. Like Islam is a religion of peace. It literally means peace.
It's very peaceful.
And
just like anything else, you have your extremists, your radicalists, and some people want to take it into their own hands to like be the voice of like a full-on general culture, when it's not even they don't speak for everybody. You know,
exactly.
So it's completely uninformed, I think. And so like in class, you think they had those like apprehensions like that there, where they were kind of, were they still trying to figure it out? Was it around 9/11 or something?
Oh no, I mean like no one was trying to figure it out. They knew what they were teaching us, but like I had just like, it wasn't like completely like fucked up what I said, but it was coming from a place of ignorance. And like they shut that down immediately and taught us to not speak from ignorance. It taught us to speak with like a background, with like information and like school, citing our sources. I highly recommend it. It's Cleveland Humanities Magnet Core, which also like I felt like the whole school should be learning what we were learning.
Yeah.
But like it was kind of like a private school within a public school where you had to kind of get into this program.
Oh, it's like an avid program.
Yeah, and like this information is valuable, and like kids across the nation should learn it. But like a school of 2,000 students, 500 kids are learning the stuff that we're learning, which is like college level, and maybe there was some kind of like, I don't know, I think there was racism there. It was like a largely Latinx school. And none of them were like getting this information, and like they could have like, but I feel like it's like you kind of had to like be ready for it, and like not even all the families behind, like kids like having to like destroy their like white supremacist values, like completely having to relearn what their parents taught them. There was a kid that like broke down crying in the class because we were all shutting him down when he was trying to like pull some racist shit, and like having to come back to class the next day and like just like completely like have to unlearn everything that their family taught them. Like I feel like not everyone's ready for that, and like a lot of kids dropped out of the program because the truth is fucking scary, and it's hard to swallow.
That's why it's not so everywhere, I guess. You know? Do you have someone to like talk to when you were finding all this stuff about yourself, and just, you know, just, it sounds like a huge like a very pivotal point of your life.
It definitely changed a lot for me, and as an individual, like I definitely wasn't the same person. And my mom is a great person to talk to, because she like understood. She's a filmmaker. Like she gets it. She was always trying to like teach me about things that would happen. And like when I would take home like a history project that like was actually false, she would teach me the real shit about it. Like when we were learning about Native Americans, like, and when practicing Columbus Day in school, she taught me about Western expansion and how we killed Native Americans in this country.
You knew it wasn't always
she was like trying to teach me the truth, and like I thank her for that, for giving me truth that like was able to liberate myself, and to like understand the roots of this country, and to understand that it's not for me, but I will make it for me. And like I don't know, she just like wanted me to know it all. Like she let me watch hella movies that I shouldn't have been watching. She showed me kids when I was 12.
Really? That's educational, right?
That was educational. I was not trying to get AIDS after that.
You was mad celibate from that point on, or what?
Not really, but I didn't have sex for a long time. But then when I did, I was very careful. As to not get HIV. And that it's not just for gay people. That was crazy. That like anyone even thought that it was just gay people getting AIDS. Like when kids are passing it around themselves.
It's. I mean, you can chalk it up just to going back to ignorance. It's just like. I mean, it was such a new thing at that point in time.
People were scared.
And when people were scared, like, they just do the most irrational shit. So the gay people, you know what I mean? Like, that's what they were saying. And they didn't, like, take a step back and, like, really, like, all right.
Reevaluate themselves.
It's like, all right, so how is this being, transmitted and all that? And it just shows the human condition. It's just, like, the people that... so they figured out some sexually transmitted situation, right? And so they immediately go to the people that are disenfranchised in that realm, in a way, in society. You know what I'm saying?
And they blame it on them. And they like put it like, I wouldn't doubt it if the government was passing that shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, in the 80s, you know, you seen what they were doing with crack, you know? So it's like you can't put it even
placing
now,
that shit
even directly. Now, it's so crazy. Like I was I just picked my mom up from the airport. She just came back from Nigeria, and so I dropped her off at her place, and we were watching CNN. I hate watching the news. Like it's so daunting to me, but like that's how my parents are Nigerian, so that's pretty much, it's on repeat all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know, but like I guess they just found some people guilty that was in Trump's camp and all that, and just even more evidence to get that dude out. You know what I'm saying? But like he gave like a little. He said something about them being found guilty, and I already know it's like a little ploy to like. It's like coded language to me.
Yeah.
Like when they do that shit, it's just like there's so many things that they're doing that is behind closed doors and to our detriment. And it's like I don't know how anybody can even remotely trust what's going on.
That's blind trust. There's just honestly like anyone who trusts Trump is just racist. Like he literally is not even like he's not fighting for you, poor white person in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Just to let you know, he is like that's what I loved about Dave Chappelle's skit when he was talking about. I think it was one of his stand-ups that was on Netflix, and he was talking about how he was in line because he lives in like Ohio or something, and like he was in line with all these like old white people like judging him, and he's just like, nigga, like Trump isn't for you, he's for me. Like I'm the one with money over here. He's great, man. Yeah. It's just like all really money at the end of the day, but he's using like ignorance to like fuel his regime. Yeah, he's like maniacally a genius, which is not a compliment at all. It's like, how can you be so smart and being so evil? I don't think he's smart at it. I think he just has a lot of money. You think so? I think people around him are smart. I don't think he's very smart. He's actually really stupid. I think he knows what he's doing, like socially. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I think there's a reason why he's where he's at today, because based on just discrediting anything that has value. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, discrediting with like no sources to cite what he's saying. Like literally just saying it and people believing it. He doesn't have smarts, he's got power. And a lot of money. And a lot of money and a lot of lawyers. Yeah. Like I wouldn't really put anything like I wouldn't like. You're not giving him that credit? No, because like he doesn't deserve it. He's like really like I will see a tweet sometimes pop up into my feed. Don't you hate that when you're trying to get away from that shit? Like this or like comment on it, just don't engage, but I'll see it. Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, this is really poorly written and like a run-on sentence. Oh, you're talking about his tweets? Yeah, absolutely. Stupid, yo. And like that's why I'm just like, yo, like people must really not like what black is going people on? Like I don't get it, fuck man. With this dude. I don't get it, man. I really. But then don't you get a sense of like, fuck, like you be at do you drink coffee at all? Do you go to Starbucks at all? No. Or I don't know. Say you're in the store, right? There's like this thing now for me where it's just like even if I see just like a random white person, I'm just like, fuck, you think I think they voted for Trump. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't trust you. I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah. I've had people lie. That's what I'm saying, because it's like there's so many people that they just have just like this vitriol against them. Like they're just like so, like everybody I see, they're just not rolling with dude. But like, why is he there? Somebody's not telling the truth. You know what I mean? Like, there's something going on, and somehow nobody has the answers to it. You know? I don't know the answers, Sway. How do you cope, like, through stuff like that? This. Man, I try not to engage. I look at a lot of memes. I go hiking. I go to yoga. I sleep a lot. I like to eat. Yeah. I just do things that make me happy so I don't lose my mind. I go visit my family pretty often. I'm going back on Friday. I do art. I try to apply to get money to make art or do residencies. Like, I just try to keep myself busy and like doing what I need to do for myself and my peoples. And like, I don't really like engage because there's nothing much I can do. I vote in primaries, but like, I don't really do much besides that. And I feel like my work is my activism, and so like I have to keep on it like every day. Anything I do, the parties that I throw, it's backed in like Black liberation, and just like informing masses. Just like, you're gonna come to my party, but you're gonna learn something, and like everyone should come. Like, I don't do shit just for Black people because we be knowing already. Like, I'm trying to tell all y'all what's good.
Going back to random acts of flyness, I really think that's what that show's great at.
Exactly. It's for everyone to see, but like, you're tuned in to the mind of Black people. You could see through our lens. You can understand what the fuck we're going through. Like, oh my god, the video games. Like, when she's playing, what's it called, like Kakubian Assassin, and just like shutting down like,
what is this, episode 3?
I think it's the second episode, actually. And she's just like shooting down all the like people that are like,
oh no, I did see it. Oh, was this where she was like,
all the
it was a woman?
And
she was
she like goes to the people that was hollering. And you can play that game online, and like there's a part where it's true fact versus Hotep fact. And sometimes I be getting it wrong. I'll be like, oh, that's true. It'll be Hotep. And I'm like, shit, am I a Hotep? I don't think so.
Who you said think so?
I said I don't think so. I hope I'm not.
How would you know that?
How would I know if I'm a Hotep? Actually, someone called me a Hotep online.
Really?
Yeah, I was really mad.
What did you say? I mean,
I was just like, damn, she called me a Hotep.
What was it? How did they call you a Hotep? What did you say?
Because I woke up at like 5 a.m. I was still streaming, and like I tweeted about Sun Ra, something about like him not dying and like actually just going to another planet via transmolecularization, and for some reason it got like a lot of retweets. And so it was like a high tweet at 5 a.m. in the morning, and like it caught on. So I was like, actually, like looking back, I guess it could be pretty Hotep-y, but like it was just like I thought it was funny.
So it came
some girl called me a Hotep because
she thought you was starting some conspiracy or something.
Exactly, but I was really just high on shrooms, talking about transportation.
How was shrooms? I've never like.
You never done
delved into psychedelics. I honestly, I have been like, huh.
I feel like it made me the person I am today.
Is it very self-reflective?
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I've killed my ego so many times just by like doing it. Like, you go deeper. Well, you kind of like dose yourself to like, sometimes it's a bigger dose than you think, and you go on a ride, and there's no turning back. You can't take it off.
You can't just turn it off.
You can't turn it off. So like, you're just fucking dealing with whatever you're going through. I do not suggest it if you're going through something heavy. Because it's just gonna make you think all the things, especially if you're fucking up or doing some weird shit. Like, and you do that shit, you'll have yourself shook. Yikes. And you will go home and change your whole life. So actually, maybe do that shit.
No, it sounds very therapeutic. Actually.
It's great, and like doing it from like the time I was like in high school, finding out about all this shit and like all this shit about our country, all this shit about myself, all this shit about our society, and like being able to reflect on that in like such a deep way. I like became even more observant and like even more like trying to talk less. And listen more, because talking, you can get in some trouble when you just be running your mouth. And so like I just try to be observant, because like there's so much that I learned by just like going deep into psychedelics. And like a lot of times it just taught me to like be quiet and just like learn and listen, take it in. And like that's why I try to like as much as I can just like be observant. That's why half the time people be talking my damn ear off, but like I just would be like a person. I think that's why a lot of my friends like to talk to me. I'm like pretty easy to talk to, because I'll just listen to you. And I feel like people have a hard time listening now. Like, they just want to, like, say what they have to say.
Right.
And when they're not saying what they have to say, they're going to look at you like they're listening to you until you stop. And then they're just thinking about what they're going to say next. Like, it happens to me all the time. And I'm like, that's why I just stopped talking.
Yeah. Because then, you know, people are just like...
They're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
That's why I was surprised I even agreed to do this, because I don't like to talk that much.
Why did you agree to do this?
Because I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
I was like, you're just laying on the floor talking about shit. Yeah. So, like, it might not be that bad.
Yeah.
But, like, I have a hard time talking in front of lots of people. But it's just a small camera that's hanging from the C-stand, so...
There you go. You almost forget about it sometimes.
I know.
Yeah. Nah, thank you for doing this. This is, like... I was surprised that you said yeah.
Oh, thanks like for asking me. I like to just talk about things.
Yeah.
And I'm never, like, a lot of times, like, as a person who, like, makes art, I'm not really given a platform to say what I want to say most of the time. Yeah. So, like, I don't mind it sometimes, but for the most part, I, like, kind of keep quiet.
There's some points where you just gotta talk your shit, man. Like, you gotta get that shit out. So, like, so like even at, what's your etiquette at, like, shows and stuff? Like, how do you feel about people talking at shows?
I get so annoyed. Like, you can't even just shut the fuck up while someone
like, you know, these speakers is bumping, yo.
Their soul out onto the floor, especially if it's a live performance. Like, DJ set, like, okay, like, you're in a club. Just, like, at least, like, talking the person's ear. But, like, if it's someone, like, trying to sing and, like, it's a bunch of niggas talking, I'm just like, bro, that's so rude. Yeah. Like, you don't even know that there's someone who, like, spent their life preparing for this. Like, pouring their soul. That's why, like, performance art scares me. Like, singing scares me. Even DJing scares me. Like, I like to DJ, but, like, it's still scary.
Yeah, it is very... I think anytime you get on like a, not even a stage, but like you get in front of people that are expecting, it does something to me, at least, where I'm just like, I just cower inside myself, and I'm just like, all right, what's next? What else is coming? Like, I'm trying to deflect onto other shit, or I just get really, I dive super deep into what I'm doing, and then I just feel like I'm off-putting at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just get in my head a lot.
I get super in my head. That's why I like to DJ, and, like, I mean, you won't really catch me on the mic like that, because it's like a similar mode to editing, where you're just like,
just kind of getting the flow.
You're just doing it, and, like, I'm just there to, like, play music, and, like, that's pretty much it. Yeah. That's why I feel like I couldn't be, like, a singer or like...
Can you sing?
I think I can.
Yeah.
But I don't like to, like, in front of people.
Yeah. Nah, I know I can't sing at all.
People look at me and assume that I could sing. A lot of people, like, when I'm going to... Like, most of the time I'll be curating a gig or, like, having to, like... Or DJing and, like, having to communicate with the sound person, and people be like, oh yeah, who are you singing for?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I know I'm, like, got big hair and, like, clothes on.
You have an unforgettable black, like, energy to you, you know?
Oh, thank you.
It's very I was thinking about this on the way here. I was like, your energy reminds me of, like, I don't even know how old you are. You might
25.
Yeah, so you're younger than me, but it feels like you have like an older, like, eccentric art.
Okay.
Aunt like vibe.
Yeah, I feel like I got auntie vibes. Yeah, like, I strive for auntie vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't really be out there like that, and like I'd be like being auntie to my friends, like, you know, go spiral this hard, bitch. Yeah. And just, I don't know, I'm trying to like hold myself up, because like my family's going through a lot, my sister's going through a lot, so like they're kind of like focused on her, and so like I feel like I really gotta like be here for myself, so I had to step it up and like not expect help from anything outside of myself.
Yeah.
And that kind of like caused me to like have to like retreat into myself and to like stay home more often and like try to like just get by really and like not really be out here like that, like partying all the time. Like most of the time you catch me out, it's because like I'm paid to be. And I don't know, I feel like just like having that level of just like privacy kind of like leads people to think that I'm older. And not really like going out all the time.
I think you have like this element of like you said, like an observing like characteristic to you, you know?
Like, I think it's just that like from the time I was in high school, I was always hanging out with people like 5 to 10 years older than me. I think it's because I just felt like I related to them, because like most of the time growing up, like if I didn't have kids to talk to, I'd talk to the adults around me or like hang out with my mom. Loved hanging out with my mom. She was my best friend.
To this day?
I mean, but like I don't see her that much anymore. But when I was growing up, like I would hang out with her on the weekend.
It sounds like you guys had like a great relationship.
Yeah, she was great. She taught me so much. She was fun to hang out with. She knew a lot of shit, and she wasn't stupid.
Do you think did your parents ever lie to you?
Sure. I'm sure my dad has lied to me a lot. Well, he would tell me that he could do things that he can't, which I respect him for at least trying.
So funny.
Like the nigga would try at least, and then he would be like, "I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it." And I'm like, okay.
I don't know why that's so funny, man.
Because they be lying to you, but it's like with the best intentions.
Like what was he lying about? Like, could he do like yo, I can do this backflip?
No, like he would be like, I'm gonna buy you this car, and then it never happened. I buy myself a car.
That's fucks with you.
Yeah, and like just like things like involving money, mostly he would lie about. Even though like he got a lot of kids, and like I'm not the only one, so.
Am I laying on your hair?
Probably it's okay though. I can't even feel, but
yeah, that is kind of that. There's certain things that are from my childhood too that like I was lied to that really fucked with me. I think that
like what?
Like I had an uncle that was like, yo, I'm gonna take you on a boat ride, and that shit never happened, man.
And you were hyped as fuck.
I was ready to hit that boat. Like every time I saw him, like I'd be like, yo, so what's up? And then after the 5th time, I was like, oh, I know that this isn't.
It's not a real thing. I don't even know if this boat exists.
Yeah, exactly. And then that kind of started the trend. Like, I have a hard time now trusting people. And I think that started that snowball effect.
I have a hard time telling people no. And I think that came from my dad lying to me about things that he couldn't do.
Really?
And, like, even though he made a lot of money, it was spread so thin. So I know he had good intentions to help me. But, like, he just couldn't, on top of child support, like he couldn't do it all. But like I have trouble saying no to like things, even when I'm like mad busy or like I can't do it. Like I'll agree to do it and then I'll get down to it and I have to back out and I feel bad about it, but it's only because I felt bad in the first place.
You think that's a characteristic you picked up from your dad?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Doing the most for everyone and agreeing to do the most and like not being able to follow through sometimes. And like I try not to do that, and like I've actually been better about saying no more often. But like
it's hard.
It's hard to say no to people that you care about. But it's so important to like protect yourself and.
Yeah, because you get taken advantage of. I think that's something I'm definitely trying to navigate through. Yeah,
it happens, and like you give someone an inch and they'll take 10 miles.
That's right. Even especially with the people that you love the most.
They be doing you wrong sometimes, but it's okay. Like you just have to practice open communication.
That's the main thing. Is like the hardest thing is like when it wasn't ever established in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So it's like so now you got to start doing a whole new thing, adding a whole new routine in someone that you're close with. Like, it's very strange. I don't know why we have to learn that like now. Like it feels like all the learning happens like around this age. It's so strange.
Definitely. There's a lot of hard lessons that I've even gone through, like this summer especially.
Really?
I try not to put too much like power into astrology, but like it was kind of hard to not to this summer. Like every planet was in retrograde, having to like.
What does that mean?
Retrograde literally means when a planet appears as if it's going backwards in the sky. So like whatever that planet rules, pretty much like you're not supposed to engage in that, and like you're supposed to like take a step back and just like reevaluate what. So like Venus, for example, like love and so like a lot of like hard questions and like lessons pertaining to love has happened to me this summer. Mars like ruling like relationships and partnerships. And like I took on a pretty big gig this summer, like right when Mars went retrograde, and it said to not do that. And I did it anyways because I needed money, and that shit was so hard. Like literally everything bad that could have happened. And I lost data, my hard drive crashed, and I had no backups.
We were just talking about this earlier today.
Literally anything that like it was just like a disaster.
Listen, Murphy's Law, where it's like
anything that can happen will. Yeah, it was that. Except like I don't know, I learned a lot though, and like it's lessons that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life.
The failure is like the best teacher. I think embarrassment, failure, just like the shit that just hurts.
Everything that happens to me all the time.
They're just the best things we learn from. So,
and they're the best teachers because you won't try that shit again.
Shit, what was I gonna ask you? Fuck.
Mars.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what's you talked about like you learn a lot from like love this summer. Can you talk about it? I know before you was like we don't talk about love lives.
That was Ladin who said that. But I was kind of like kind of you right. But like honestly, I don't mind. My partner Ringo and I, we've been in an open relationship for like almost 2 years now, and like we never really, well, I didn't act on it at first, but then I did, and then like we were kind of in this weird limbo situation, but like having to confront that with each other and just like reevaluate like how we got into this, where we're at now, like it was really hard, and like having to be so open, honest communication, and just like it's really hard when like shit is like kind of fucked up, and like to be honest about it. But like when you love someone enough and like you're down for them, like you're gonna want to tell them like what's good with you, and like not holding things in, because like it's so easy to tell when you are, and like why are you fronting on them? Like you're fronting on yourself. And so like having to like do the hard work and like just be like honest and like communicate in a healthy way, not get angry, so like important. Not speak from anger, like learning a lot that's like just like unlearning the way that my parents conducted their relationship, which was really fucked up, and just like trying to like do it my way, like an unconventional way, but it works. Like we still have unconditional love for each other, even though like we've both fucked around and like we've both like gone through some shit like in our relationship, but like realizing at the end of the day like we've still got each other, and like we're not trying to intentionally hurt each other, but like sometimes the truth hurts. But if you're engaged in something like this is how you gotta do it. Like honestly, I feel like everyone should be in an open relationship because it fucking is amazing. Even, and it's not like you have to like fuck a bunch of people to be in an open relationship. It's about like relearning the love that you have for yourself, and just like stepping back from like living for someone else, if that's like maybe that has happened to you in your relationship, but like just like kind of like doing more for yourself, spending more time alone. That's why he moved out of his house. Like we had to separate our spaces because we were so inside and underneath each other.
Were you guys codependent or?
And very fucking codependent. I've been with him since I was 18.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a minute.
I was a baby pretty much, learning this world. And like, although I've learned a lot, like there was more lessons to be learned not by his side.
Yeah.
And like only lessons that I could have learned alone in our times of space. And I'm thankful for that I can still have like a partner that I can depend on, but like also have me too. And like can like go like days without speaking, but no, it's all good. Like, and it doesn't have to come from like a place of like anger or like retaliation, but it's like when you link up, it's still all good. Like that, I feel like it's so rare, and like it should just be more normalized, because like, I don't know, not everyone wants that. Like, people like to be monogamous, but like monogamy isn't natural.
It isn't. But okay, so here's my thing, right? I don't think it's natural at all. I'm in a relationship right now, and it's funny because a lot of the things that you're learning in your relationship, I'm also learning in mine. You know what I'm saying? But I know for me, and this is me as an individual, monogamy works for me. You know what I mean? Because and I say it only as an individual because I don't think I don't think a relationship should be generalized. Like a relationship type should be generalized. It takes the work for you to kind of figure that out. And I'm just a kind of like I don't like very many people in my life. You know what I'm saying? So like,
me either.
So I'm very
less the better.
Exactly. So I just need like one person really ever that I need. You know what I'm saying? And then I mean, everyone else is there, you know? Like, I feel like I'm a servant to them more than anything. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's why monogamy works for me, is just because I wouldn't have peace if I was in... Because I place too much of my heart in too many places, you know what I mean? Oh
yeah, for sure. And like, you don't want to. No, I mean, like, I never really had to deal with that because I don't get emotionally attached to anyone
I'm a
else.
lover boy for sure.
Yeah, I feel like if you like have a thing where like, you know, you would like, you have to like give a lot of yourself to other people to be in an open relationship. I kind of like came into it as like a way to like kind of like give space to myself, to honor myself. Like it wasn't really for other people. It wasn't to sleep with other people.
Right.
Those things can happen, but it doesn't necessarily have to. And like, I don't know if I even like labels in that way. Like I say, I'm in an open relationship, but like, I mean, like I'm still mostly with one person. But like, it's just like a different way that we love each other, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I totally, because like, I mean, so when you get with him, it's something different, right? Like there's...
we still hang out all the time. We have a business together.
I want to talk about your record label.
Yeah, Akashic Records.
Yeah.
We run it with Ringo's manager, Shane.
Okay.
And it's dope. I love it. I've had it... We started it with Sophie, and as I mentioned before, she had to back out, so then Shane came. And so we started it, called Akashic Records, based on the actual Akashic Records, which is like an ethereal library on the astral plane where all of knowledge is kept, and you can access your past lives by accessing your Akashic record through meditation. You can get Akashic readings too. But I felt like because our record label touched on so many different things and facets of life, and different genres, that like it worked, and like it's just cute. It's kind of hard to find online, but Akashic Records and Tapes, if you look it up, I think it'll bring you to our website. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I enjoy giving my friends and people I believe in a platform. I really enjoy being of service to people who like need my help or anything, like making films for people.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we have a service that not a lot of labels have, which is like in-house creative. And just like working directly with an artist, where it is, if I don't really like make sense to work with them, like I can happily curate something that works for them.
Yeah.
And just like having that as like just as important as like the music side of it, making sure it sounds like sonically great.
Yeah.
Like where Ringo can like more act on that, and then like Shane is there to like help with like artist agreements and all like the extra shit that I can't really wrap my brain around. I feel like we're kind of like a good team in that sense, and we just signed deals with Fat Beats and Entertainment One for distribution, for physical distribution and digital, and then we're now linking with a woman independently run syncing agency. So now we can get our artists synced on movies and TV shows and commercials, and like just like kind of give them more of a platform.
Yeah. No, that's I really like the like I really like everything that's going on in there. You know what I mean? Like, and the music is great. Like everything you guys put out is just like, this is some next shit. You know what I mean? Like it's very familiar, but at the same time it's just like very in the pocket of and very unique to what you guys are doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know?
I really enjoy it. It's like it's taking like kind of both of what my parents worked on. My dad at one point tried to start a label called Blackfoot Entertainment, and the logo was my baby footprint.
Nice.
And it was because we're part Blackfoot Indian.
Oh, really?
And it didn't really work out. He ended up moving back to New York, and I feel like I'm kind of like picking up where both my parents kind of left off in their creative careers, and like trying to like do what I'm passionate about, which is what they were passionate about, which is like I didn't really know about until like I was of age, until I was already doing what they were doing, which is kind of like a weird occurrence to happen.
So that. Weird. Like, I feel like kind of like
they kind of intersect, and I feel like my mom purposely didn't tell me what she used to do as much, because like I grew up not knowing exactly. I knew she made a movie called Strictly Business. I didn't know about her music video work. I didn't know about her like ties to like hip hop, and and like
so crazy.
As I was getting more into it, she would like share pieces of her personal history with me, and it would align with my path of what I'm actually doing with myself. She started a film and video production company using her inheritance from when her father passed away, and like was able to like do some incredible things with her life in her early 20s. And my dad kind of like hustling to get to the point where he could like do what he wanted in the music industry as well. So like I feel like I'm kind of like merging the two, and that's why I'm like especially passionate about it, because like I want to like keep the energy there in our family.
It's in your DNA for sure. Do you see your parents as people?
Oh yeah, like at this point, like they're straight up people to me. Like I don't be like, mommy, I need this, or daddy, I need this. Like I gotta listen out their problems. Like my dad has like small children. Like he's like an old nigga with kids, like little kids. And so I gotta listen to him, like what he's going through with baby moms and baby kids. And I like my mom's kind of starting over. She's like going back to school, getting her master's. She's helping out my sister. Like she's doing a lot. She's restarting her life. She's just like got a new boyfriend. So like I hear like a lot of like real like they talk to me like I'm
about their level issues.
And like I get to hear, but I'm like I've always like kind of like known about a lot of issues.
You kind of observed it.
When I was growing up, it was hard not to know what was going on. Like I feel like kids, especially kids in poverty, like or kids that like had less than other kids, like you know what's going on. And like it makes you more humble as an individual.
Absolutely.
And like I was able to like know to like not ask my mom for every toy in the store, because I know she didn't got it like that. And like just like I feel like it made them more comfortable with like telling me like what's really real with them. Yeah. And like I'm thankful for that they're not scared to share these things with me.
Yeah. You think any of like their relationship has put a part in your relationships now?
Yeah, I mean, like I would never conduct my relationships the way they did, or like romantic relationships. Yeah. I feel like they're getting the hang of it now.
Yeah.
And like they're finally happy, but like I learned what not to do, and I think that's a good way to learn.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I learned to be patient. Like my dad was not patient. He was not trying to go to couples therapy. He was not trying to make it work. He was on his nigga shit for real. Yeah. And like I feel like at a certain point I feel like he regretted it. Yeah. Like he's just like has a lot of child support to pay now. Yeah. And every child that he had after me was a blessing, and I love all of them. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there was like a lot that he could have like didn't have to deal with had he like learned emotional intelligence a little more at an earlier age, like when he became a father. Yeah. At the first time.
Yeah. What do you think hindered that? Like why? I mean, I don't know how in depth you know about your parents' lives before you were born, but like
I don't know. I feel like it's just like shit that you got to do with growing up in the hood. Like you're just exposed to a lot and like a certain way of living your life, and if you don't get to the point where you unlearn what you see, you're just gonna like perpetuate it.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But so like before all this, you were saying how you never gonna have a partnership. I mean, in a business sense, you guys are able to make that work too, and learning. Basically, it just speaks to you guys like unconditional love in a sense where it's just like whatever happening, you guys got each other.
We gotta roll with it, and like even if it's something that hurts one of us, and like if it's not meant to hurt us, and it hurts us anyways, and that's something that we got to deal with like ourselves. Yeah. Like we've had to learn how to work through shit on our own. Yeah. Rather than like, because if the person you love is the one like inflicting this pain upon you, what they don't intentionally mean to, you kind of gotta just like learn to roll with it and like grow from it, and like. So, like, I feel like I've learned a lot just by, like, engaging in a relationship like this, where at first I was really resistant to it. Yeah. But then I let it, like, I opened myself up to it, and I learned a lot about myself, actually.
I think love is the greatest teacher on that. You know what I mean? Like, you learn so much. Love, especially in a relationship with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you learn so much about yourself and things that you wouldn't be able to learn by yourself. Yeah. You know? Yeah. But yeah, how you feeling?
I'm feeling a little sleepy. I've been laying here for so long.
All right, cool. All right, so like to wrap it up, like what's something the world doesn't know about you but it should?
Man, that's a hard question.
It's pretty broad.
Because I feel like the world doesn't know too much about me.
Right. What are you
already?
Are you willing to let anything fly?
I love people in general. I have a lot of love for folks, and I'm really generous, but like sometimes I can be a fault where I can be taken advantage of, but like I'm also really forgiving, and like I don't know, try to be like an advocate of open communication, but like I don't know, I really don't know what people know about me. And like I hope that now after this they have learned something about me.
Absolutely. I learned a lot about you just listening to you.
Thank you. And yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty hard question. Maybe that I really like papaya. And I have it almost every day. Papaya, you scoop out the seeds and you put blueberries. Oh my God. This is a major detail that everyone's missing.
Okay.
You gotta put lime or lemon on your papaya, and then it won't taste funky, and then it's the best. It's the best.
At what time of the day do you eat papaya?
In the morning.
Oh, it's a breakfast food.
Or anytime, I don't know. Eat papaya for dinner.
It's like cereal, I'm but a healthier version.
Yeah. So eat papaya.
Eat that papaya. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Alright. You feel good?
Yeah, I feel great.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, my hair is starting to look crazy.